make some rock candy. So let's get started. Let's see, I've got my cup of water, which I'm gonna go ahead and put in my pot and start heating that. And if you're doing this, make sure you get your parents to help you. So we'll go ahead and heat that to boiling, and while that's heating, I'm gonna be dissolving in some sugar, which is brand new because I don't usually bake, so I had to buy a new thing of sugar. So I'm gonna go ahead and dissolve, so the recipe says a quarter cup at a time, so I'll go ahead and stick in the first quarter cup now. Mainly you wanna be dissolving it once the water's boiling, but we should be able to dissolve some of it even while the water's still kind of cold. So I'll go ahead and dump in a quarter cup, grab a spoon, whoops, and we'll get started with that. It's almost all dissolved, but not quite all dissolved. There, I think that's all dissolved. So I'm gonna put in a second quarter cup. Okay, so here's my second quarter cup. And I'm gonna keep stirring. Oh man, it's all over my spoon. For those of you who did the sugar solution in the solubility lab, this should be kind of familiar. So let's do another quarter cup. It looks good. I'm kind of holding the spoon at an angle because the stove is hot and I don't want to burn myself. That looks like it all dissolved. So at this point I've now dissolved the same volume of sugar as I started with water. I've got a cup of water and a cup of sugar. So we've hit like Coca-Cola levels of sugariness. Yep. A little bit of the bag got in with that scoop. Hold on. I'm gonna drink some tea while I'm waiting. Yeah, that's pretty much all dissolved. FYI, you're much better off using a wooden spoon than a metal spoon for this, because the metal spoon will conduct the heat really well, and so you'll start burning your hand. The wooden spoon still feels pretty cold to me. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and let this cool for 20 minutes. Meanwhile, I'm gonna add in some food coloring. I'm gonna add in some red. I want purple rock candy, so I'm gonna add in red and blue. was a bunch of red, and now let me add in a whole bunch of blue. And we'll see how that looks. Mostly it just looks kind of black, but I think that's because it's in a black pan. It's kind of purple in the spoon. So mostly when rock candy forms, the food coloring stays in the water and mostly doesn't go into the crystal. So you have to add a lot of food coloring to actually get the rock candy itself to be colored. So I'm gonna add like a bunch more. Okay, and then we'll have to wait a while for that to cool. But meanwhile, I'm gonna go ahead and seed my skewer. I didn't actually have a skewer, so I've got a chopstick that was left over from a takeout order that I had. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that wet. And then just roll that in some sugar. If I roll that, I just mean stick it into the bag of sugar, which you probably shouldn't do because you're getting water in the sugar, but it's okay. We'll all survive. And then I'm gonna just shake off any extra. Oops. And then we gotta let that dry. So ideally we want all the sugar to be on the skewer and none of it to like fall into the bottom of the cup, because the larger sugar crystals are gonna fall around these, or form around these little seed crystals. And so we want them to be forming on the stick so that we have nice rock candy. I guess while I'm waiting, I can start cleaning up some of the giant mess I've just created. Alright, there was a lot of liquid, or a lot of solid sugar kind of precipitating out, so I actually added some more water and reboiled it and let it cool down a little bit just to get it a little more dissolved. Now I'm gonna go ahead and pour this into the cup and make some rock candy. I'm gonna go ahead and pour that into this cup. It's like black on black on black, so it's hard to see what's happening. There we go. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put in my chopstick with the seed crystals. And then I'll leave that for a couple of days and we'll see what happens. I had a bunch of leftover solution that I wanted to use up, but I only had the 2 clothespins. So I made this one, which I've got a toothpick that's rubber banded to a pencil, and then the pencil kept like spinning around, so I taped the pencil to the sides of this cup. We'll see how this does.